You are hereby advised that the tips, tactics, stunts, and tricks displayed on our videos are performed by professionals in controlled environments, such as closed ranges. Do not attempt to duplicate, recreate, or perform any of these at home, as personal injury or property damage may result. The producer of this video is not responsible for any such injury or damage.
What's up, Z.E.R.T Nation? Instructor Chico back here with more rope talk. So today we're going to talk about rope itself. What to look for in a rope, what kind of rope is out there, what kind of ropes we're interested in, and what kind of ropes we should probably have on our person and our kits ready to use and have available. So with rope, all things considered, we're going to talk about basically two types of rope today, okay? Specifically static rope and dynamic rope, okay? We'll start with dynamic rope because it's going to block out a segment that we're not really going to talk about. We'll just mention it. So dynamic rope is what climbers use. Okay, free climbers, trad climbers, sport climbers, not free climbers because they don't have a rope, but it's trad and sport climbers, they'll use a dynamic rope. Okay, what is a dynamic rope? Well, it looks like a regular rope. Where the term dynamic comes into play is the stretch of the rope. Okay, climbers, as much as they don't like to or as much as they don't think they will, at a certain point they're going to fall. Okay, and when they fall, they want that rope to stretch a bit. Okay, as I'm falling, if I missed my handhold or a piece of my Pro Blue, whatever, if I'm falling, I'm going to want that rope to kind of act as a bungee to help slow my fall and bounce me a little bit. Not snap my back, but stretch a bit. So dynamic rope, dynamic climbing rope is going to stretch, on average, we usually say about 20 to 30%. Okay, and it's only for absorbing that shock as people fall. In the rescue world, we typically don't use any dynamic rope. We use static rope. Okay, static rope has a very low stretch rate. The stretch rate for static rope, on average, we'll say 3 to 8%. Very little compared to dynamic. And the reason is because in the rescue world, if we have patients, if we have subjects, if we're moving people into different positions, we don't expect them to fall. We don't expect them to bounce. Okay, it's very controlled. It's very safe. So static rope, 3 to 8%. Dynamic rope, 20 to 30 depending. Today, again, all we're going to talk about basically is static rope. Different kinds, different diameters, different uses, things like that. The rope we use, the common rope used today in rope rescue and in mountain rescue situations, even the dynamic climbing stuff, is all kern mantle rope. Okay, K-E-R-N-M-A-N-T-L-E. And what that means, it's a German word, it basically means core and sheath. So if we look at this rope here, we'll try to angle it at the camera. This is a piece of 8mm static rope. You'll see there's a little white spot in the middle. Okay, that's the kern or the core of the rope. Okay, and actually it's several strands, but it looks like just one big core. That's the important part of the rope. Okay, and kern mantle rope, that particular section right there is 80% of the strength. Okay, so 80% of the strength of a kern mantle rope comes from this little intersection. The mantle, which in this particular rope you can see is green with the little black specks, and you can kind of see it surrounding the kern there, the mantle is about 20% of the strength of the rope, okay? And basically it's there to protect it, to protect that core of the rope, the inner strength of the rope. That's what the mantle's purpose is. So you'll see out there with the static kern mantle rope and even dynamic, you'll see different patterns, you'll see different colors. You'll even feel different pliability with the rope. Some ropes out there, very stiff, very hard to kind of squeeze, and some of them will be very pliable. Very soft to squeeze, okay? Bottom line, the stronger, the harder to squeeze stuff, a little bit more durable against some of the rock surfaces out there, especially here in Vegas, but a little bit harder to tie knots. But at the end of the day, kern mantle rope, core, sheath, 80-20. Be mindful of that.
Z.E.R.T is a worldwide membership-based organization that uses zombie as a metaphor for any natural or man-made disaster that could occur in our lifetime. Your zombie could be hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, a deadly force encounter, or civil unrest. Z.E.R.T is about being prepared, trained, and most importantly, armed with the proper mindset to see you and your family through to safety. Z.E.R.T is not just an organization. It's a lifestyle. ZERTNation.com